OCM, Arbe Quinsna, Genwa Quetat, Hamalstin, Ochumeo, the Schoolmenschotlin, Stomukinsna. My spirit and my energy here is from Hamalstin, this place here of the land. I grew up here on the North Shore, North Vancouver, kind of here and there all over the place. You know, I went to where my mom and dad had work. We traveled a lot. I spent some time on Vancouver Island, back to Capilano Reserve here, where my grandmother, my grandfather, and aunties and uncles are all from. I grew up into this carving culture, this Aboriginal culture through my grandmother. A friend of mine gave me a set of carving tools for my birthday in 1990 because she recognized how I was drawn to the arts. It really took off from there. I spent almost all my spare time away from work carving and reading stories and going into local art galleries and just studying the art. I really self-taught myself for about 4 or 5 years until I got my first carving teacher, which was my uncle. I admired his shop because he'd been carving for years and years and years. He said, "Nephew, you have to bring your own knife. Go buy a knife and then bring it to my shop and I will teach you." And so I finally one day I bought a little bent knife about this. The blade was about this big and the knife was about that big, just a tiny little blade. He made me carve the whole mask out of the one knife that I had. And it took me about 3 months. He was very good. He showed me many things. I still use some of the things he taught me 28 years later, 29 years later. I learned a lot about myself. I became more spiritually aware. I became more connected. I've learned how to feel. I've learned how to listen to my dreams and listen to the elders. I just love what I do. I love carving. I love sculpting. I love sharing ideas. I love working with people. I love doing all these things in a good way that it helps people and makes the world a better place. It makes the world a better place of understanding, and we understanding each other. So that when people walk into the room and they see a piece of my artwork, if they feel good or they feel better or they're moved by it, they're moved by it personally, then I feel like I may have helped them with their own personal consciousness. I always feel it's the wood is telling me this is what's next, this is what's next. This is where I need to go. This moon mask needs to go here. And that's why they came, not because I want to carve it, but because that piece of wood is on a journey and it's off and I'm helping it. So it helps me and I help it find its home. You can find my art in a lot of different places, local galleries here in Vancouver, personal and private collections throughout the world. Some of my work has been put into the permanent collection at the Burke Museum of Natural History, the Canadian Art Bank. They've become, somewhat of a collectible. So I think maybe I'm leaving a good mark in this world, that people feel that my work is worthy enough to be displayed or held onto almost as a treasure. So there's a great feeling of achievement there. I'm really happy where I'm at with my art and looking forward to taking it even further. My passion to want to achieve more is because I'm not finished in this world. It's still, there's more coming. So I feel that passion and I look forward to it, and I try to have an open heart and an open mind and an open spirit to welcome those things and do the right things to get there. And if I can carve a mask or a sculpture or a totem pole or something that changes people's vibrational consciousness and connection to the earth, when I achieve that, that's my goal, is to achieve that connection for people. But it's always about consciousness and awareness of all things that are alive and connected. The way of the earth, I say, the way of the earth.